Hi Zesties. Okay, today I'm eating Signature Hot and Louisiana Garlic wings from Popeyes. I have not yet tried the Louisiana Garlic, so I'm very excited. If you have not tried Popeyes wings, you need to go now. I only get wings now. I don't get anything else. And I've seen some like food vloggers say that they don't like them. I'm a huge fan. So let's go. I don't know which is which. So far, Signature Hot is my favorite, and it's literally like my favorite wing out there right now. I've also tried, I also really liked the sweet and smoky chipotle. I don't know which of these is Louisiana Garlic, so we are just gonna dig in and see what happens. Okay. That's the Louisiana Garlic. See, here's the thing. It's hard to give it a fair rating because this would be an incredible rating had I not already tried the Signature Hot, which is way better. But like, I guess it's like impossible not to compare them. They're literally right next to each other. But like, Mardi Gras mustard and blackened ranch. So like, their Popeyes wings, and Popeyes wings are incredible. You know what I mean? Ooh, yes. Bro, just look at that. Like, to the Popeyes wings haters, just look at that. Like, stop lying. I feel like anyone hating on Popeyes wings is just lying. They're literally the best wings out there right now. Wait 1 second. Why am I having trouble figuring out which one is Signature Hot? Hold up. That's how flavorful these wings are that I almost got killed by the flavor. I almost died from the flavor. But like, did they mess this up on me? No, they're two different colors. Because actually, I was skeptical because of the fact that I thought the Louisiana Garlic was, like wetter. But I remember the signature hot being sweeter. I don't know why I wasn't really getting the sweetness that I was expecting. I'm still pretty sure this is the Louisiana garlic though. Mm-hmm. It is. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that's the signature hot. It's just not, I don't know. I remember it being sweeter. But okay. This is definitely much blander than signature hot, but then again, everything is like signature hot is like an extreme like flavor cornucopia punching you in the face. Mmm. Mmm. So good. Mmm. I still feel that my favorite is signature hot. My second favorite is what is this? What is this, Popeyes? My favorite is signature hot. My second favorite is what's it called? Sweet and smoky chipotle. I don't know though, because the signature hot is like missing something for me today. But I don't know, I'm confused because I'm comparing it to the signature hot. But the signature hot isn't so good as usual today. So, you know what? I need to eat it straight, no dipper, to give a good rating. Mm. Mm. If you don't like spicy, this would be better for you, the Louisiana garlic, because it's not so spicy. But like for me, it's just kind of missing some oomph that some of the other flavors have. But it's still a Popeyes wing. It's still incredible. Popeyes has the best wings out there right now. Don't play with Popeyes. Mm-mm. I'll give that an 8 out of 10. If you're not a spice lover, I would definitely suggest trying that. Because I think that my other two preferred ones, Signature Hot and the Sweet and Smoky Chipotle, would be a little spicy for you if you don't like spicy. Wait, let me eat the Signature Hot straight. I don't know why, but it's like missing a flavor for me today. Or the flavor's off or something. I'll have to put them on. I'll say this is an 8 out of 10 today too. I usually say Signature Hot is 10 out of 10, but The flavor's kind of off. Oh my gosh, you want to know what? I'm afraid to say this. But okay, I'm gonna say it. The, when I went there today, the crew was very different. The crew was Hispanic. The last couple times I've gone, the crew was black. And I feel like maybe they got the flavor a little better. Don't hate me, okay? You know, don't hate me. Don't hate the messenger, okay? Now that I'm eating it, I'm like, I feel like the last crew was doing it better. And now maybe I know why. But I don't know. Like when I started cooking, I got seasoning pilled. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the Louisiana garlic is so good. I'm gonna bump that up to an 8.5 just because of how disappointed I am in the flavor of the, what's it called? Signature hot. But anyway, so like I got seasoning pilled because I wanna coin this term right now, okay? That I was seasoning pilled. So what I mean by that I was seasoning pilled was that like when I started cooking, I learned everything from social media. And like a lot of the home chefs and the social media chefs and stuff are very, very seasoned. And you know, I was watching like Caribbean channels and they were like heavily, heavily seasoning. And I just felt drawn to the seasonings, you know, drawn to the seasoned side. But like, I don't want to mix up the flavors, but whatever. But I also found out pretty quick that there's also the unseasoned. I've seen all this stuff about people saying that people will like harass cooking videos that don't use seasonings and be like, oh, you need to season it, you need to season it. But the unseasoned will get on you too for using seasonings. They'll be like, oh, it doesn't need that, oh, don't use that, oh, you ruined it, you ruined the meat, you ruined the chicken, whatever. You know, let's not even get started on the whole cleaning of chicken and meat and whatever, but which I also like. You know, I was also clean your chicken pilled as well. So anyway, um, when ooh, this just looks diabolical, zesties. I love that it's like all mixed together. Oh. If you haven't got Popeyes wings, you need them now. These are 1,000% zesty approved, okay? Look, I'm so depressed and devastated and upset and thinking about leaving Tampa, and my neighbors woke me up at 8 a.m. blasting their gospel music, and I'm just not a happy camper with life at the moment. Life is just not working in my favor. Look how happy I am with these wings. These are some antidepressants right here. These will put Prozac out of business, okay? They're that good. Even though I complained a little bit about the flavor of the signature hot, that usually is a little better. I mean, these are just incredible. Okay, back to the seasoning talk. So, like, once I started making more seasoned food, and especially once I started doing Jamaican food, like jerk chicken and jerk shrimp and jerk stuff, and see, it's so funny because that was before I ever even posted publicly. I only started posting publicly because I had friends that were saying, your food is so good, you should start posting. And then once I started, I just couldn't stop. But like, okay. I have a group of friends, in fact, my main group of friends, they're extremely unseasoned. And like, you know it's good too when it has you sucking on the bones and everything. Mm-hmm. Doing all that flavor. But anyway, so my main group of friends are unseasoned, and a lot of my friends and acquaintances are unseasoned. And so when you know what, this is a nice little story time, and it was an organic story time. So like, I had a group of friends, and some acquaintances who just hated my food. They were just big time haters, and you know, often the criticisms would be like, especially when I started making jerk stuff, they would say like, oh, that looks dirty, that looks gross, I can't even see the chicken, oh, like it's chicken doesn't need all that, yada yada yada, you know. And I was just like, and you know, they had me like second guessing myself because I was new to cooking, and they were saying like, when I made like like specifically, I think the dish that made me realize this was, oh, I need to make this again. I need to make Caribbean more. But it was pumpkin grits with jerk shrimp. You know, and one of my friends was like, oh, that looks disgusting. And one was like, oh, that looks the shrimp looks dirty. And I was like, oh, what? Man, I was talking to one of my friends who likes my food, right? And this friend just so happens to be black. And she was like, I was like saying, you know, I was like, look, this looks really good to me. And I remember I was asking her, how dark or light should jerk be? Because it was freaking the unseasoned out that it was so dark. And they were saying it was too dark. And I was like, what color should jerk be? Is this too dark or whatever? And she was like, oh, I'll take it as dark as it can be. But I'm seasoned, I'm black and I love seasonings and whatever. And then she told me, the people that are hating on your food are unseasoned. And she also told me, and they're all white, and I was just like, wait. That stereotype is not true. It can't be true. It can't be true. Because I just assumed it wasn't true because I like seasonings, right? But once she called this to my attention, I could never forget about it again. You know what I mean? And I know, okay, like obviously people are gonna say, oh well, not all white people are unseasoned, and not all, you can't categorize or characterize. I'm just saying, in general, in my experience, right? I'm not from the South originally. Most of the people I know are white, and most of the people that I know are unseasoned. Like, really. To be honest, most of my friends from this area are all originally from northern states. And they just really don't like seasonings. Like, they just don't. They would tell you that they do, but they're unseasoned. So they have all the things, they have that whole mindset that powdered seasonings are bad. They can't use powdered seasonings. Which I still just don't, it makes no sense to me. And they'll even go, oh, your Walmart seasonings and whatever. What does it matter where it came from? And like, there's nothing wrong with powdered seasoning. Like, garlic powder is just ground garlic. They'll be like, oh, well, it has like the anti-caking agent in there or whatever. Oh, whatever. Whatever. But like, once she put me on, once she told me, once she said, your haters are all unseasoned and they're all white, I was just like, oh, I just couldn't, like, there really was a very clear, especially when I was making like Caribbean food, which when I first started, that was like what I was mostly doing, because I don't know, I go through phases, food phases. There was a very clear divide of like who was liking the food and who wasn't. And ever since then, I have been seasoning pilled. I use a lot of seasonings. I clean my chicken. It is what it is. Speaking of, I need to try soul food sometime. I've seen a lot of videos. I don't know if I've ever eaten soul food. I've certainly never cooked it. Man, Zesties, this is so good. And I'm sad that it's ending. I only have one wing left. Oh, the Popeyes wings are so good. They're so good, they've literally brought me out of my depression. And trust me, I'm very depressed and not happy at all. You know, I was talking to my friends today, and whenever I talk to them, I just realize I have such good friends in the area. I'd really like to stay, but just, geez, things have gotten bad. Oh, Zesties. I don't think my friend who seasoning pilled me watches my videos, but I wish she would. She would think that was so hilarious. Want to know something? This is so bad, but like, okay. My friends who are, like I said, they're very unseasoned. And they know all about this and think it's funny too, that I think they're like white and unseasoned and whatever. So, they, at like holidays, like Christmas and New Year's and whatever, we all get together and we all eat, when we eat food, and typically they cook. Or no, they always cook. And the food, not always, but often is, in my opinion, bad, but you know, it's just very bland and boring. I feel like you can tell how good this is just by my face, how it looks right now. Like, look at those two streams of sauces. I feel like they're two different colors. You just know this was bomb. You know this was bomb. But anyway, when I would go to these like holiday functions, I would text her and say, oh my gosh, you were right. I can't believe that I didn't, know about this before. And like, look at how bad the food is. Oh, I can't believe that they eat this stuff and whatever. I would be texting her and telling her about like the unseasoned tomfoolery that I would be experiencing. Anyway, I definitely suggest you get Popeyes wings if you haven't. You're missing out hardcore. And if you're not into spicy, get that Louisiana garlic. That was so good. This was exactly what I needed today. Thank you so much, Popeyes. You know what? It's like I said, this brought me out of my depression for a little bit. Popeyes wings could put Prozac out of business. It was that good, Zesties. I don't even know. I don't want to call out the name of my food vlogger that I follow who talks smack about the Popeyes wings, but you are tripping. I mean, tripping. Wingstop and Buffalo Wild Wings and whatever, they're not doing anything like what Popeyes doing. No, Popeyes is the best, period, okay? Bye, Zesties.